full concentration. We're about to get underway. Leigh against Wigan here tonight. It is the Battle of the Borough 50 years ago this week that the Local Government Act turned Leigh from a separate town into part of Wigan. Lord Mayor's here tonight of Wigan. There's plenty of special guests here, but it's what is going to happen on the field here tonight. 1 win in 5 so far this season for the Leigh Leopards. That needs to improve, but that injury problem just seems worse and worse with every week. The Wigan side, who suffered defeat against St Helens last week, their first in a long time. Be interesting to see how they react to that.
Oh, well, they've got off to an awful start here, Dave. Harry Smith just reaching out and drops the ball 25 metres away from his own end. You can just see that cut-out ball goes past Cade Ellis, and Harry Smith comes up with a basic error. An opportunity opens for Leigh Leopards.
Well, early frustration for the coach. Looking on and an early chance here. Big crowd, sellout crowd here at Leeds Sports Village tonight. And the majority, of course, Leigh fans, and are encouraged by these early stages. It is Leigh who are wearing the red shirts, which now become more apparent as the smoke does begin to lift. Hughes with a cap is going to be put down, but with in sight of where he wants to go. McNamara, the man at dummy half, out to Lachlan Lamb, and they're looking wide. Moylan's involved, and so is O'Brien, but O'Brien is trapped where he stands, so they'll have to start again here. It's a step back towards the middle again, but some robust defending from Wigan on that occasion. O'Neill really got his shoulder in. Cade Ellis in there as well. Leigh looking for another point of attack, but going nowhere at the moment. In fact, one tackle to go. Little run from dummy half from McNamara, and that is where they're going to have to give up possession and give Wigan the ball back, but very close to that line.
Yeah, very, very close there through Ben McNamara. Of course, his first start in a Leigh Leopards shirt. Perhaps not the very best end to the set, but look where they turn the ball over, Dave, and that's brilliant defence there from the Leopards. They're sensing an opportunity here early doors.
They are a wounded animal, aren't they? We talked about that injury problems that they've had. They are a wounded animal coming into this game, but maybe that is incentive in itself for them to lift beyond some expectations. Marshall trying to carry his side to relative safety. Wigan still working hard. A little bit of fumble there from Liam Farrell. Not quite as assured as you would expect. Here's O'Neill back on the inside, and Hill with a big drive. The youngster, he's a baby, isn't he, as a prop forward, 20 years of age.
Yeah, he gets his first start for Wigan after 20 off the bench. A big night for Harvey Hill. Harry Smith looks to clear his own end and does so with a terrific kick.
This is the last O'Brien is allowed to just catch it. And here comes a return opportunity for Hanley, who's on a great run at the moment. Hat-trick of tries in the last 2 games that he's played. This is Charnley. Wigan now, their turn to try and hold the opposition's go forward. McNamara just slotting in at dummy half, and the whole place just quiets a little, and it is lifting the smoke, but very, very slowly.
Yeah, second carry there from Amila Hanley. 9 games, of course, in the cherry and white shirt. Wins his side a penalty as well. That's great work from the youngster. Gets him for his carry out of backfield. Lets Charnley take over, and then decides to get his hands on the football again. And you can just see on the pitches there, Sky replay shows it well. Too long in the tackle, penalty given away.
So O'Brien finds touch, and the majority of the early stages, and it is only early stages, less than 4 minutes played, have been played inside this Wigan half, and Leigh would settle for that. We've seen them this season make big starts in games. I think the most eye-catching was that thrilling first half against Leeds a few weeks back that, of course, ended in defeat, so they would have learned a lesson from that. Here comes McNamara into that dummy half position. Got Lamb to the left-hand side. Lamb with a little jogging, stepping run. Taking them closer. 30 away. McNamara again. And angled attack again. Moylan puts a little kick over the top. Marshall's there to collect it easily enough. But the Leigh chase is good enough. And Wigan again having to start from close to their own line.
Yeah, you know, Leigh Leopards have just turned the ball over where they want it. Matt Moylan, of course, he would have liked a little bit more on that kick. Liam Marshall reads it ever so well and brings it away. As Miski, he looks to straighten up, tries to keep wrestling in that tackle, gets put on his back. It's a decent start from Leigh.
The three-quarters doing the stuff that they're expected to do, of course, to try and lift the pressure on some of the bigger fellas as they bring it forward. But here is one of those bigger fellas in Luke Thompson. And now it's Ellis, and Ellis charging into that group of Leigh defenders again. But that was the fifth, so Wigan are going to be forced to kick from inside their own half. Back to Harry Smith, that left boot of his. His kicking game's going to be interesting tonight, given the conditions. And O'Brien has put it down. It would have disappeared in the smog for a moment, and it came down with a swirl and a less than assured take by the fullback.
Yeah, Gareth O'Brien, he had eyes on it all the way, and he just loses it right at the very end. And it's Wigan's opportunity. 6 minutes on the clock. They get the first crack at Leigh's line.
Well, it is the flick of an eye, isn't it? You know, 1 minute a team's under pressure, and it takes one moment like that to reverse fortunes.
Well, I think what it does show is the amount of kick pressure that you're going to have to put on Harry Smith, because his kicks are huge and towering.
They're coming right with a play from the scrum here, and here's Bevan French, who takes them to within 10. Kieran's impatient, wants to get on with it, and in fact the referee is going back to the scrum.
Mate, they can't hold in the scrum, trust me. It's across here. Re-scrum.
Re-scrum.
Choosing to re-scrum, back in, lads.
Breaking early, chosen to re-scrum.
They are allowed to try.
This newish rule, of course, that gives teams the opportunity to have a go
across here, yes.
At a scrum rather than a penalty. So what can they do from here? Here's Smith with a feed. And again they come right, but this time Field's gone with them, and Bevan French is there. It gives them an extra man, an extra headache, but they dealt with it, the Leigh defenders. Wigan have a penalty though, I think. I think it was over robust.
His hips have come past the horizontal.
Lachlan Lamb's looking bemused and confused.
Well, Jack Smith there just decides that Lachlan Lamb lifts the legs above the horizontal, and we can see that's exactly what happens. Just has that extra little pull. I mean, Bevan French, he doesn't land really in a dangerous position, far from it. But the fact is, he's lifted his legs up, giving away another penalty.
So Kieran with a tap. Wigan have 6 to have a real go at this Leigh line now. Harvey Hill will take it in the first instance. A settler, a platform from which his side can work. O'Neill dances left, helped on again to Farrell. Liam Farrell with a push. Farrell to within 5. O'Neill's across there again. Leigh coming forward in defence as Thompson barges in and almost skittles them out of the way, but grimly they hang on. McNamara in amongst there, making sure that the tackle was a good one. Smith goes back to French to Field. Field with a pass out wide, and the dive for the corner, but I think Charlie has just pulled off a wonderful defensive effort here.
Time off.
Referee's going to go to the video ref.
It's tackle 3. We've got a try on field.
Oh, he thinks try on the field. Let's have a listen to all of this.
Grounding, please. No, it's through the line, mate. It's through the line.
OK, it's tackle 3. Line decision's a try on field, so we're just looking at the grounding, please. So he's in possession here, Miski. Still in possession. In possession of the ball. Feet's in the field of play. Still in the field of play. Still in the field of play. And the ball's grounded. I've made my decision.
Well, that is some effort by Charlie, but I tell you what, it is bettered by the effort of Abbas Miski to score in that corner. Terrific stuff. Try confirmed. A quarter of the ground is jubilant, and Wigan have the lead.
Yeah, and it all comes off the back of ill discipline from the home side. That tip tackle on Bevan French just puts them in the field position, gives them 6 more, and they're able, just through pure execution, to get this ball over in the corner. The 9, 6, 7 and 1 all combined. It's a bullet of a ball out to Abbas Miski, and you're right, Josh Charnley, he does ever so well, but Abbas Miski's put down. Well, that's the difference between the two of them so far. It's a wonderful score from Abbas Miski, his 3rd try this season. It's the first real attacking opportunity from the Warriors, and it results in 4 points, Dave.
Yeah, the class of the man. We've sung his praises so often, the Lebanese international. He's just on this rich run of form that backs into last year, continuing into this. Well, it was a classic wingers finish. And Harry Smith now with a chance to add the 2. 19 goals so far for Harry Smith. He's been sharing the kicking duties with Adam Kieran, who's been knocking him over as well. 13 for the centre. But it is Smith who's first choice, and he tries to curl it in, but it has just gone further than he hoped, and it remains at 4-0.
Yeah, Harry Smith, he had a similar kick in the derby and he hit the post. But what about this for the play? Everybody just running the right lines, making defenders accountable, and the space proves to be in the corner.
Well, a very decent start to the game, which for an anxious minute or two we wondered whether it was going to get underway, but it has cleared completely now, as you can probably tell just by looking at your telly. And here comes Harvey Hill to bring it forward again for Wigan. So Leigh looking for a response here in defence, you'd expect.
Yeah, it's important that they don't let Wigan create any momentum, just really restrict them. Ask Harry Smith, even Dave, to kick the ball from inside his own 40-metre zone. It's often the result of a good defensive set if you get halves kicking it that deep. Well, there's 3 players gone, and they're 21, 22 metres over the line.
Ellis with a carry. Frankie Holton there, returning to the team. He's one of those involved in the tackle. Here comes Liam Farrell, who's close to a couple of landmarks as well. Liam Farrell, in terms of try scoring, gets one tonight. He gets 500 points in Super League in total. Kick for O'Brien. Safe catch this time by the Leigh fullback. Pouches it well and runs it back with confidence. And Leigh have a relatively decent starting point for their set of 6.
Well, they do, David. It just comes off the back of what they did. Those tackles earlier after conceding points. That will please Adrian Lamb. And Kai O'Donnell now, he's searching, finds nothing through the middle of the field.
The Australian takes it just inside Wigan territory. 6 again. Little push there that stopped O'Donnell getting up and playing it first time. So this entire set will be inside the Wigan half for Leigh. Can they build on something from here? Hughes hoisting it back to Lamb. Here comes Lutelli, another of the returnees. Good push, good metres after contact.
It's so important to get Ricky Lutelli back. His experience over nearly 130 NRL games with the Sharks.
Moylan goes right. There is O'Brien. 15 away. Moylan collects. Here's McNamara. Spinning it back to Lamb. Lamb with a little kick. O'Donnell is close, but it's picked up by Field, and there's just a little hint of danger, but my word, Moylan was not letting him pass, and this is going to be a penalty.
Well, my initial reaction was that Jay Field was slipping and going to the floor. And you just see there, he loses his footing, but my word, he doesn't half miss.
Monster mark here, wasn't he? Oof. Maybe a little word in his ear. Don't try that again, Joe.
Yeah. I mean, he is falling to floor.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean...
Connection with the head, isn't it?
There certainly is contact with the head. There's no denying that. And he hits him with an awful lot of ferocity as well.
Yeah, Matt, come here, mate.
But he is falling.
Come here, mate. It's all right. I'll talk. Yeah. Right. There is contact with the head. It's forceful and dangerous. We've got a mitigating factor in that it's a rapid and unexpected loss of height, which is why it's 10 minutes in the sin bin.
So Matt Moylan, it's the 7th sin binning of the season for Leigh. That number is stacking up, and it has been costly so far this year. But once again, they're down to 12. Adrian Lamb with John Asiatu alongside him has got a bit of reorganising to do here.
Yeah, he doesn't miss. Those pictures show it again. It's a correct call. Contact with the head has to be looked at. It is an area that they're trying to get rid of out of the game, but he does slip, which saves him from it being a red. But they're going to have to do it tough for the next 10 minutes.
I've got to say, this is a really important stage of the game now, isn't it? You know, if Wigan can get another score, maybe 2, and Leigh losing a key playmaker, that's one of the issues there as well, isn't it? As Hill takes it in. This is O'Neill. Left to Smith, inside for Thompson. Thompson direct as ever. And a glance around, left and right by O'Neill. Got to search this right-hand side. Smith trying to dodge and weave and get away from the attentions of Norman. And that's the 5th, so here come Wigan with 1 play to go. 15 metres away. O'Neill. Back to Smith. Here comes French. French trying to create some space. Flick pass. It was a miracle ball. But the miracle didn't happen. And Leigh get the ball back.
Yeah, it's good defence in the end. It's man on man. And Bevan French there, he knows he's being tackled. He just tries to throw a speculator. A little flick pass. The execution of it isn't what it needs to be.
So there's the first big test with only 12 that Leigh have passed. Now they need to get it downfield as quickly as they can. Well done, Josh Shirley again. That's needs a few extra metres in the tackle. Lutelli takes it in. Not going too much further. McNamara still out of dummy half. Working hard. Hardacre backing in. Looking to perhaps promote the ball, but too many defenders around him. McNamara goes right. And here, Frankie Hulton takes it just inside the Wigan half. 6 play. Kick is straight into the hands of Abbas Miski. And Miski can bring it back to that 30-metre mark.
Yeah, poor kick from Lamb. Abbas Miski just standing there waiting for it to come into his arms and returns it with interest, gets 12 metres. And Adam Kieran gets his hands on the ball.
Here's O'Neill. And now Isa, Willie Isa. It's been a fairly set back row for Wigan this year, hasn't it? Isa, Farrell and Ellis. This is Smith again now, and Field comes chiming in and trying to get it onto Wardle. Wardle with that footwork. Cut down by Hardacre. Picked up by Marshall. Here comes Farrell. Farrell again looking to be direct. Wigan picking up the metres. Stopped raining as well. We were told it was going to rain all night, but it has stopped just for the moment, which helps in terms of entertainment. Smith is the man who puts the ball in the air. O'Brien again is underneath it, and this time the little leap is good. But Leigh start there. Work to do. Hanley. Lamb drags it out of dummy half. Leigh looking to drag themselves downfield. Wigan's defence looking to be as tight as it possibly can be in these circumstances. Straightening up, angled back towards the middle. Charlie's not going far before he's grasped at by 3 of his ex-club mates. Former Wigan player, of course, Josh Charlie from years back. And Leigh are on the last play here, still inside their own half, so they'll be looking for Lamb to produce something special with a kick. O'Neill trying to get to him, but again it's a little bit of pressure on him that sends the ball flying into the hands of Abbas Miski, and that gives Wigan, you'd think, about an extra 10 metres at catching it on the full.
Yeah, it was good kick pressure from the Warriors on Adrian Lamb, of course. He's the only real kicker out there now with Moylan in the bin. And you just feel that Wigan Warriors are just rolling forward, just playing at perhaps a different pace, a little bit of a different intensity to the home side.
Mago with that latest drive, and Ellis now. Hardacre came advancing out of the line to cut down Wigan's options left. But they are still looking down the middle with reasonable effect here as Mago carries another yard or 2. O'Neill. Right towards French again. Isa's there, little kick behind them. Isa's chasing after this. The bounce is good, and Isa is even better to get over the line. We're going to the video ref again here.
Tackle 4, Liam. Got a try.
Try on the field.
Check onside, offside, and make sure that Isa maintains possession to the ground, please.
You heard it there. Let's hear from the video referee.
Yeah, just check and maintain possession.
Okay, it's tackle 4, tries the live decision, so onside, offside, please, from the kick. So confirming Isa is onside there to the right. Happy to play on at this point. Let's follow it through, confirm he does maintain possession all the way to the line. So something close up there, please. Just watch him. Yeah, this is the one. Just watch him. Has possession at this point. Has possession in his left arm, now in his right, sliding towards the line. Just confirm, have we got a side angle maybe, just to confirm that the ball never comes away from the arm. Looks like it's always in that possession. Yeah, if we can go slow on this, please. Yeah, always in possession. Still in possession. Just watch him slide down to the line. Still in possession. Still in possession. And ball is grounded. I've made my decision.
Well, it's been a long time between drinks for Willie Isa. His first try in 3 years, first of this season and first in 3 years And he'll enjoy that moment, I'm sure, as the try is confirmed. And Wigan extend that lead and are looking ominous at the moment, Kyle Amell.
Yeah, they just took advantage of the numbers. If you watch how they set up, Gareth O'Brien puts himself on the longer side, and the deception from Brad O'Neill there. Bevan French, of course, slides a kick through. There's no full back at home. There's 15 metres of space. Just that slight little movement of his hips through Brad O'Neill just allows Bevan French there to thread the needle. Gareth O'Brien gets across, but because he's on the other side of the ruck, it's too little, too late. You can just see the number one there trying to get across. The kick's a brilliant one, and Ice is there to collect that try. It's 8-0 with Harry Smith. A much easier chance to convert this kick to make it 10-0.
So Smith settling in here. Kicking towards the north stand, the terracing that holds the hardcore Leigh fans, who will not be happy as they see that sailing between the sticks. And Wigan extending it to 10 points to 0. They look gloomy, but my goodness, their side have started well here.
Yeah, they certainly have. Bevan French there just going to the line. A beautifully weighted kick. And he wanted the bounce, did Willie Isa, and he gets it just there. It's 10-0.
Well, how do Leigh respond now? Still got another 5 minutes or so with the one man missing.
Well, I think they started okay defensively, asking Wigan to come out of those pockets in the corner of the field, but once the sin bin, Matt Moylan just seems to be one side who is just running a little bit harder, playing a little bit quicker. And they've taken advantage of it.
This is O'Neill. And Mago. Again, just fairly basic stuff at the moment. Just a thoroughly determined effort to take it downfield as quickly as they possibly can, and all he can do for Matt Moylan is sit and watch at the moment. Another 3 minutes on the bad boys bench, the sin bin, and watching his team just struggling a little here to tame this Warriors go forward. French again with another kick, and O'Brien is across there quickly enough, anticipating, but Wigan's chase is good, and Kieran and Miski make sure he's going not too far.
Yeah, wonderful set after points there, Dave. But that
penalty
isn't what they need.
That lifts Leigh.
Well, this is the part where I felt that Wigan lost the derby last week. The amount of yardage penalties they're giving away, and they give away two whilst they were in possession, the sin bin and the card as well. But one point I'm trying to make is it's been their discipline that let them down last week.
And you look at that league table of penalties. Only Hull, with 49, have conceded more penalties than Wigan, with 46 before tonight. But I think Wigan are going to be overtaking them the way it's going.
And crucially as well, Dave, they played one less game.
McNamara to Lamb, schoolmates, by the way. Back in the day, Ben McNamara and Lockie Lamb in Sydney, when Ben's dad was coaching over there. And Ben, of course, had some time under the auspices of Adrian Lamb as a coach there. So although he's a new signing this year from Hull, he certainly shouldn't be a stranger to too much of what goes on at Leigh. This is Lamb looking on the inside for the drive of Hughes, and McNamara's back there again. This is Lockie Lamb once more, and O'Donnell not far behind. Whenever it comes left, you're always looking for that combination at this ground. McNamara picks up, back to Lamb again. It's his turn to kick. It's French who picks up. There's clear field ahead of him. Has he got the pace? Well, you just thought he didn't quite back himself there. It was Jack Hughes. His heart must have been in his mouth if French had decided to go on the outside.
Well, even if he'd have got that right arm away, Jay Field was screaming up the middle of the field. The kick, pressure there from Bevan French. He regathers the ball. Just keep your eyes here.
Would have been an oh my word moment, I suspect, from Jack Hughes. But he did the job, and Leigh stymied that initial thrust. But can they continue to keep Wigan at bay? That's good defence that's stopped Tyser in his tracks, and Wigan losing a bit of momentum as a result. O'Neill now. Here's Thompson. Again, just eyes front, and off he goes. One play to go. O'Neill. It's with Smith. It's another high one that is going to Takes some concentrating over there. It was Wardle who got up there. The referee says play on. It's collected by Marshall, but then there's the tackle, and it will be the handover.
Handover.
There's another kick high into the corner there. Myla Hanley, Gareth O'Brien can't take it in. Wardle manages to pat it back, and Liam Marshall gets tackled, but it's 8 metres away from their own line, and Wigan will look to have a solid, clean and polished defensive set here. Matt Moylan returns to the frame.
Look at the touchline waiting to come on, Matt Moylan. They will be up to 13 again now as Moylan comes back on the field. Not too soon, not a moment too soon from the home side's point of view. McNamara. Oh, it's a straightforward drop, and I think that might have been Ben Nakabuwai's first touch of the night, wasn't it, from the interchange bench?
Yeah, he started every single game off the bench in 2024, and his first touch tonight could prove to be a costly one here. He knows it.
And a look of frustration there.
Yeah, he knows it. Look, it's not what you want coming off the bench. You're there to provide impact, take the game up another level.
Instead, he's given the ball back to Wigan, and they can start a set again inside the Leigh half, and French operating down the left side to Field, and Field is slid to the ground. Hardacre making sure that job was done, but back to Smith again. They've got loads of tackles in the back here, Wigan, and Farrell will push again. And into dummy half goes Cruz Leeming, who's on for the interchange bench as well. Leeming into Ellis. Ellis now puts it back for Smith. Smith away to Isa. Isa just sticking his jaw through the gap and diving to the ground, 10 metres away. Leeming back to the middle again. Ellis with a short pass. The Leigh fans are screaming for a forward pass. Up gets Thompson, springs to his feet, Leeming out of dummy half back to Ellis. Ellis flat towards Isa. And I think it was a bobble and a knock-on.
Yeah, I think Kade Ellis there, Dave, is asking an awful lot of Willie Isa. He just bullets that ball, and with the width of it, he just juggles it there under pressure from the Leigh Leopards. Maybe Willie Isa would have wanted, obviously, to take that in, but he just can't. The second time they used him up in that set, and it results in an error.
Well, it's a time of year when a lot of people are thinking about Isa, aren't they? And Kade Ellis may be over-investing in that option. And the knock-on has given Leigh possession back and a chance to clear their lines. McNamara's getting involved as well here. So Leigh coming out now, looking for some determined response. Nakabuwai this time keeps hold of the ball and slams it in, but 3 defenders, they're just nibbling yards at the moment, Leigh. Nibbling their way forward. Still very much in this game, but...
Another juggle there. This time it's Frankie Holton wanting in on the act.
Moylan swinging down this left-hand side. Lamb and O'Donnell just inviting defenders to him because he had to surrender because of the obstruction line.
It's a number of times, Dave, that this left edge has just turned back row is under. They perhaps had a look at the video over Wigan over the last couple of weeks and just seen perhaps a little bit of joy through the centre of the field. But it's not working so far tonight.
McNamara comes out and goes right to Moylan. Moylan, fresh pair of lungs. Was he taken late there? No, referee had a look and says play on. Marshall picks it up. Marshall turns and the Leigh chase is decent. And we can start from here.
Yeah, Luke Thompson there, just taking a piece of Matt Moylan as he leaves as the ball leaves his foot. The referee, Jack Smith, thinks it's okay.
Possibly look more spectacular than it was in terms of intent and damage done.
Move now and square, then.
He's not a man to mess with, is he, Luke Thompson?
Oh, he was brilliant last week.
Leeming out of dummy half. Mega. Good carry. And the offload. And bursting through the middle is Jay Field, who's looking around for options. Charlie can't get to him. On to French. French with a kick. Kieran's on the chase. It might be French himself. Bevan French has done it himself. For the second week running, he's produced the most improbable of kicks. Is it a try?
Tackle 3, Leo. We've got a try.
Well, soft signal
Check
try.
the grounding, please.
See it from the video referee again.
Yeah, it's tackle free. Live decision is a try on field, so confirming he is onside from the kick. So French is the kicker. Follow it through, please. Yeah, he's the kicker, so he's onside. So now we're looking at the pick up and grounding, please. So French is onside, he's the kicker. Confirming he does catch the ball and maintains possession all the way to the ground. So that's backwards off Leigh. French collects it and grounds the ball. Thank you, I've made my decision.
There's absolutely no way he did that on purpose, is there? That wasn't a kick and chase for himself. It was almost an apologetic catch of an awkwardly bouncing ball to score the try, but he's done it again. Bevan French, he keeps doing it, 8th try of the season.
Just another moment of brilliance there from Bevan French. He showed last week that he's able to do it, and he's done it again. And Warriors fans at home, just sit back and enjoy this, because the Warriors moved the ball from inside their own half. Jay Field knows that Mago's got the offload, but for the Leigh Leopards, disappointing. They could have shut it down there with Charnley, and they have another chance again. But you can just see Bevan French is more willing to work harder than anybody else. Ricky Latelli, of course, he gets so close to putting the ball dead. Wonderful off-road from Mago. Field cuts him up through the centre of the field. Just has patience, knowing that the rest of the troops are arriving. Bevan French with a special kick. He gets a little bit of luck once again there. We saw the bounce that he created for Willie Isa, perhaps a bit lucky, but that one again. But you've got to take him, Dave.
I know you're a big football fan, Kyle. If Kevin De Bruyne is putting a pass in like that, you'd be purring, wouldn't you? This is a rugby league player. It's supposed to be a handling game, and yet he's got feet of magic. 2 weeks running. Here comes Smith with a kick, and he's put it wide again, I think. Yes, he has. So it remains at 14-0, but the 4th successive game now that Bevan French has scored in as well.
Just the things he can do, his all-round game, his all-round contribution. I'll take nothing away from the offload there. Gets between Hughes and Akubawai. Perhaps there, Josh Charnley could have maybe made a bit more of an attempt on field. The kick through there, and the regather and the put down.
Leigh need a response, and quickly. 14-0 down. And let's hear from Jenna Brooks, who's down on the touchline.
Wait.
Go on. Jack, you've got to be quicker, come on!
No, we'll go back to Jenna a little later. But it's just been very efficient from Wigan at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, they've done exactly what they needed to do, and they've responded in the right way, which Matty Pete would have expected them to do after last week. Obviously, a pivotal moment was that Matt Moylan sin bin, but many people heading into this game thought that the Warriors would respond with a decent performance, and so far, after half an hour, they're certainly doing that. Cruz Lehman takes off.
Oh, this is what he's good at. This is what he's good at. He saw the gap, he's got support, and here's Harry Smith to finish. Oh, ain't that good? Ain't that a piece of brilliance out of dummy half from Cruz Lehman? Quick as a flash. And Harry Smith knew that all he had to do was get on the end of that, keep him company, and he'd be underneath the sticks, and Wigan scored 2 in the blink of an eye.
Perhaps that try will be the most pleasing for Matty Pete, how they went about it. Set after points, hard direct carries. But for the Leigh Leopards, it's just not really good enough to get cut open like that through the middle of the field. There's bodies just flying everywhere, not landing a glove on anyone. And Harry Smith just pushes up hard. It's a brilliant run from Cruz Lehman, it really is, but just keep an eye on the red shirts. Bodies there, 1, 2, 3. And Harry Smith straight under the posts.
Yes, he enjoyed that. He enjoyed that. Harry Smith breaking his duck for the season. First try here in round 7, albeit only Wigan's 6th game of the year in the Super League. And an easy kick, you would think, underneath the sticks here.
It's worrying times, isn't it, for the Leopards? This could get really ugly, Dave, if they don't respond very, very quickly. You know, John Asiata, Brian Carney asked John Asiata before the game if this was a grand final winning side or potentially, and what's shown tonight is that you need much more than just your 17. The squads that go on to lift titles and win trophies,
yeah,
have a larger squad, don't they? An ability to bring players in when key players are injured. And at the moment, the Warriors are just showing them how far they are away from it.
suggesting that last week was a blip against St Helens. At the moment, it looks like they're back in that winning groove. But there's a long way to go here. We've seen games turn much more dramatically than this game at this stage at the moment. Get into the touchline, but I think Jenna's got news for us. Jenna.
Yeah, Dave, just going back to that Bevan French try a couple of minutes ago, I'm sat close to the non-playing Wigan players, and I can tell you that even some of Bevan's teammates cannot believe his brilliance. It just goes to show he is their marquee player and just why the Wigan Warriors have kept hold of him for another 4 years.
Yeah, big news, which you would have heard break on Sky Sports yesterday. Bevan French with a new deal. Another 4 years.
Yeah. Oh, he's a proven try scorer, isn't he? It's a knock-on here, I think.
Right, nah. You've got the ball to go too quick, you're facing the side. Fixed handover.
Just an incorrect play of the ball.
Played the ball sideways.
We're going back to Bevan French.
Oh, yes.
Played the ball sideways.
83 tries in 96 games, and he's done it all, obviously his time at Parramatta as well, with 35 in 47 appearances. A proven try scorer, just a joy to have in this competition.
Leigh with a chance here just to settle the ship a little with a set of 6, which gives them an opportunity to build some pressure. Nakabuwai, and boy, do they need to build some pressure. Out of dummy half, it's taken Brad Dwyer, who's on the field. Lamb. O'Brien is met instantly by Wardle.
Good read there from Jake Wardle, just knowing that Gareth O'Brien has that cut-out ball in his arsenal. It's another good piece of line speed from Thompson this time. Just not allowing Leigh to play.
Making that movement sideways look a little pedestrian there, wasn't it, the way that Wigan defence came out. Here comes Lamb. O'Brien, kick to the corner for Charlie to chase. Charlie dabs it back on the inside, and they do have a try back. Ricky Latelli celebrates his return with a score, and boy did Leigh need that, and that injects some real self-belief into this place now.
Yeah, you just felt that the Leigh Leopards needed to score next in this game, and even though there's only 32 minutes on the clock, Lachlan Lamb just goes to the line. It's Gareth O'Brien's boot this time. Josh Charnley hacks it forward, a little flick off Jay Field's heel, and Ricky Latelli, well, he's the beneficiary of it. It's a beautiful little kick there from Gareth O'Brien. I mentioned the Warriors there getting a little bit of luck with their boot. Well, it's the Leopards' turn this time. Josh Charnley's right foot back inside the field, just catches Jay Field. And Latelli, well, he does the rest.
Well, that doesn't exactly turn things around instantly, but just gives a suggestion that this ain't a done deal yet. Moylan could do with adding the 6. And damage reversal is starting to look to be on course here. Moylan having a look. Wigan fans behind the sticks are respectfully silent at the moment. And that's a good kick from Matt Moylan. It's a terrific kick from Matt Moylan. And it is now 6 points to 20. And Leigh just have a little read for hope now on that coaching bench.
Ricky Latelli missed the Salford game last week, having scored 2 tries in the demolition of Hull FC in the Challenge Cup. He gets another one here tonight.
Jack Smith just giving play the ball instructions to Patrick Mega, who I think was still asking belatedly as to why that penalty was given against him, which indirectly led to that try. It's an ancient law of the game, isn't it? You've got to be facing forwards to play the ball. And now there's just a little bit of a roar building at Leigh Sports Village. Just getting behind these Leigh players as they bring it forward. Once is good. 2 would be even better if they can get over the whitewash again. And there's a determination at the moment with the carry down the middle. It's Dwyer. No, Hardacre. Looking to step back again, reversing into that. Seeing there was an opportunity for an offload, there wasn't. Dwyer again, and Dwyer is one of those dummy halves who can show moments of brilliance, isn't he? And he just threatened to do that there.
Well, he knows how to inject speed in and around the ruck and cause chaos as Moylan looks to boot the ball on the halfway line. Liam Marshall's under this and should collect it, and does so.
But a decent chase should and does restrict Wigan to 15 from their own line. Smith having to bend his back here. Wardle's there to help out as well, to bring it forward. Leeming back in at dummy half. It's Miski who's come from a distance here. It's his long run up there from Abbas Miski off the boundary fence to carry it in. And Leeming waits again. French back on the inside to a young fella who a lot of wise observers are saying has got a big future, Junior Nsemba, and he's got a penalty here.
No, you've got a legs man. You've got a legs man and you've come in.
Second attempt in the tackle, not allowed.
Jack Hughes there comes up with a flop on Nsemba, who of course didn't feature last week, having been named on the bench. He gets an opportunity tonight with Dupree and Liam Byrne out. We're looking to have a big game, Dave.
Here he is again. Strong carry forward. He's another relative youngster in that position. He plays in the furnace of the centre of the field. Only 19 years of age, Junior Nsemba. And Thompson now. He's been around a bit. 20 out and 4 tackles to go. Leeming. Ellis past him to Smith. Smith. And now it's Wardle on the end of that. And Liam Farrer, I think, ran into Matt Moylan.
Next position. He might have, but you've ran him on that shoulder. You've got to get through the lines.
Yep. Obstruction given.
Yeah, Liam Farrell arriving from deep, and Jack Smith just saying you have to push through that line. Not really too sure what much more he could have done.
Michael Handley loves the moment, loves the penalty. Less work to do for him and his teammates to get the ball back downfield. So Leigh have just settled things here, haven't they, with that try. Wigan not quite having it as much their own way as they were before that.
Yeah, it was important that the Leopards responded in the right way, and they have done. Just perhaps they would have wanted this half to last a little bit longer. There's an opportunity now here, Dave. Latelli
trying to break through. Kieran just bumped off, but there were others there as well. This is Lamb.
Oh, good footwork there.
Leeming didn't buy it. Neither did Mago. No markers there. Picked up by Dwyer. Dwyer puts it back on the inside again. It's a strong carry by Hughes. They're 10 away, but they've only got one play to go. Dwyer, sense of urgency here. Lamb puts it back. Moylan with a kick to the corner. Marshall's under pressure. Marshall's knocked it back and then eventually kicked out of play by Harry Smith. And a drop out underneath the sticks.
Yeah, much better there from Leigh. Matt Moylan puts a beautiful little kick up there, and it's contested between Hanley and Marshall. And I think it's Harry Smith who just keeps his legs moving and hacks the ball dead. It's another opportunity, 2 minutes left on the clock for the home side.
So another set of 6 for Leigh. Difficult handling conditions, but they would still expect to catch this ball safely and really threaten that Wigan line. And here comes the first charge of this latest wave. Hughes goes down. Dwyer moves in. An operating role. All starts from there. Nakabuwai down. Dwyer again. Back to Moylan. Moylan now up to the line and skips it back to Lamb. And Lamb with a little shuffle pass away to O'Donnell. Just about held on to, but Dwyer's fancying this now. Lamb picks up the bounce. Lamb across to O'Brien, but it's knocked down by Wardle quite clearly. So Leigh get another set of 6 here.
Yeah, it's a huge play from Wardle. Gareth O'Brien's loading up that cutout ball I mentioned moments earlier. And Wardle just comes in, makes his arms as wide as he can.
There's a minute left, isn't there? Good heavens, that's gone quick. Minute left, so...
I just think that was a huge play there from Wardle, because if O'Brien lets that ball go, Dave, well, Milo Hanley's in the corner.
Well, there's an opportunity here in terms of time and position for Leigh. Lamb again. Quick hands from O'Brien. Charnley. It's going to be a penalty here for Leigh.
Yeah, he didn't miss. Abbas Miski. He folded him like a deck chair.
O'Brien's in trouble here, isn't he? In terms of his physical health.
I think he's going to be okay, but Abbas Miski, he just jams this play. Oh, and hits him hard as well. Just gets his timing wrong. Can't pull out.
Video referee's getting involved. Referee's bringing that out of Smisky.
Right. It's front on contact, and you are attempting to wrap, which is why it's a penalty. When that ball's gone, be really careful. It's front on contact.
You can hear what the locals think about that.
Time back on.
Jack Smith saying it's a genuine attempt of a tackle. And interestingly, Matt Moylan, well, with 40 seconds on the clock, taking the two. We'll see Abbas Miski. It's a genuine attempt of a tackle, according to Jack Smith. He's not a dirty player, but he does get it wrong.
Matty Pate heading down towards a tunnel, soon enough, because this kick will be the last kick of the first half. And you can understand the logic of this as well, because possibly not enough time to break through that Wigan line with whatever number of tackles they have left to go. And this kick, if it goes over, but it doesn't. I was going to say, if it had gone over, would have narrowed the gap to just 2 scores, but it remains as a 3-score lead. Adrian Lamb with plenty of talking to do to his players at half-time, and that half-time score is Leigh 6, Wigan 20.
Dave Kyle, thank you very much. The champions take a 14-point half-time lead into the changing rooms here in a sold-out Leigh Sports Village. You feel Leigh will need everything to go their way and could have done with those late 2 Matt Moylan points. It wasn't to be. It was a first half dominated by the champions. We'll discuss it all in the company of Sam Tompkins and Jamie Jones-Buchanan after this break.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. And I'm feeling
You can see John Rahm defend his title next Thursday in the opening major of the year. Sky Sports Golf will host the Masters Day 1, 2 p.m. on Thursday, and next Thursday evening, it's week 11 from Premier League Darts, live from Birmingham on Sky Sports Action, 7 p.m. that gets underway. Round 7 of the Betfred Super League is up and running at a sold-out Leigh Sports Village, with the home side trailing 20 points to 6 at half-time against the champions, the Wigan Warriors. 14 points between them, and a bright start for Leigh. Sam Tompkins, notwithstanding they conceded first.
Yeah, I thought Leigh started the better in terms of aggression. I didn't think it'd only take 8 minutes for Wigan to come up with a very slick play like this for Miski to go in and get them on the scoreboard. I think Leigh probably needs to get the defensive line a little bit higher and stay up. You know, we've got Josh Charnley and Ricky Latelli trying to make a decision really close to the line.
Matt Moylan sin binning. Any issues with this, Jamie?
No, it's the right decision where the game's at the minute. Very difficult though. Look, French is falling over. Field falling over there, slipping, and Moylan can't do a right lot about it. I'm even behind him, and here we've got now, I don't know whether this is as a consequence. You see Hughes almost defending like a matador, being really passive and presenting a false wall. We don't want that either, really. We'll talk about that a little later.
And that led to this, Willie Ice's try.
we spoke about it before the game, that this guy's got class written all over him. You know, that's an inch-perfect kick, and Willie Isa, for a man that doesn't score very often, I thought he took that opportunity really, really well.
10-0 at that stage, and you felt a scoreline certainly that the Leigh Leopards could handle, but as champion sides do, and we're looking at the Super League champions, they hit Leigh with back-to-back tries that blew the scoreline out.
Yeah, and Sam mentioned it, they lacked energy for me. They were blowing, and I think it's another consequence of having a man in the bin. You know, and credit to Mago here, look at this offload, just pokes through, and it's what Field does really well. All the alarm bells ringing, try to scramble, get some scramble defence, and listen, I don't believe in too much luck. Put yourself in the picture, get yourself there with speed kills, and look, he's outstanding as his fella, Bevan French.
There's a few areas of poor defence here from Leigh. Firstly, to be broken in the middle as easy as that. Secondly, I think Gaz O'Brien, you know, as French kicks this ball, O'Brien's got to be a little bit smarter and at least take French out, and Latelli's open, his fingers are about 6 inches longer there. He needs to get that off the field.
All right, Cruz Leeming electric out a dummy half in the build-up to Harry Smith's score.
Yeah, he cut through him, didn't he, like a hologram, just as dummy halves do really well. Thought he injected a little bit of pace in there. Harry Smith pushing up on the inside, converted his own try, but electric, he's worked hard, Cruz Leeming. He's looked after himself in off-season to come up with moments like this, and I think both him and Brad Dwyer changed the pace of the game when they both came on.
20-0, 12 minutes left in the half, and you began to fear for Leigh, the club, Leigh, the team, I should say, and their supporters that have thronged here, and any of their supporters that are watching globally.
Yeah, I was worried at that point it could get a little bit worse, because they did look very heavy-legged. I think the Simbini took it out of them. They were getting broken in the middle a little bit too easy, but that wasn't the case. They did manage to bounce back, and I think they've kept themselves in this game. I think they'd be pretty happy to be 12 behind.
And this is the score that maybe has kept them in the game so far.
Yeah, it was a nice bit of play. You know, Josh Charnley had, you know, beautiful little touch inside from the boot, very smart play. You know, Leigh threw a lot at Wigan, and I thought Wigan defended really well. Certainly on the other edge of the field, I thought Jake Wardle's cut out everything that they've thrown at the left edge of the Wigan side, but that was a bit of brilliance, a little bit of luck, but it kept them right in the game.
Late in that half, Matt Moylan missed a penalty effort, sent it wide. That was, of course, after a foul on Gareth O'Brien, Abbas Miski, with what was perceived to be a late hit. Gareth O'Brien, we believe, is off now with a HIA, so he's being assessed. That would be another big blow to Leigh, of course, in their efforts to get back into this game.
Yeah, massive blow. You know, they've got enough injury worries. You know, we've spoke about that before. You know, Gaz O'Brien, someone that can create on an edge, and that's what they're going to need today. They're going to need some creativity to get through this Wigan side.
Do you see a way back in this game for Leigh?
Yeah, they've got to preserve their energy, got to find field position, got to play in Wigan's half at field. We've seen with that little bit of a display, couple of doubles there, O'Brien, Charnley, back inside Latelli. They've got the skills and the ability. It's got to have the ball in hand, Brian.
Too much went the way of the Wigan Warriors for Leigh's liking in that first 40 minutes. Can they turn it around in the second 40 here at a rain-soaked Leigh Sports Village, but one that is very, very atmospheric, as round 7 of the Betfred Super League is up and running. Second half on the way after this.
Is there another bomb to coax? They went in the first half. They're looking for him here. He's going to launch. He doesn't. I don't know about that play by Staggs. Staggs kicked it back to the goal. And now you've seen it all.
Yeah, superb game we brought you this morning from the NRL on Sky Sports, and we've got more to come. Manly against the Panthers, 7:30 a.m. on Arena on Saturday, and on Sunday morning at 9:15 it's the Raiders against the Eels. Of course, we've got 5 more live Super League games from round 7 of the Betfred Super League. Leeds Warrington tomorrow. We're on air at 7:30 p.m. on Action and Main Event. And at 5 to 8 for Castleford, Salford and Hull KR in London. 2 on Saturday. Hull FC against Huddersfield kicks it all off. And then what a cracker awaits us on Saturday evening for the south of France. The Dragons against St Helens. 8 p.m. Sky Sports Action and on Main Event. Well, the round is up and running with the Battle of the Borough. And the Leigh Leopards trail at half-time. 20 points to 6 to the champions, the Wigan Warriors. And of course, Leigh currently assessing Gareth O'Brien, their full-back, who was hit late at the very end of that first half. And this, of course, will be something they would hope for his own personal health that he passes, and of course the context of this game, this will be huge.
Yeah, massive. He's a key player for him, and that's a heavy shot that he's taken. You know, he's got a little bit of a history of concussions. He's been off a few times, so, you know, seeing that whiplash effect is something that certainly flags up concussion worries.
Okay, well, it got frantic in that first half. You'd have smoke coming out of your keyboard if you were trying to update it on social media, and it went the way of the Wigan Warriors. We can get half-time news now from Jenna, who is in the tunnel. Jenna.
Yeah, thanks very much, Brian. It certainly did. Wigan Warriors have that 14-point lead. Speaking to Matty Pete at the break, he said he's relatively happy. He just wants his team to keep responding to everything that the Leopards throw their way. As far as Adrian Lamb goes, he wants his side to clean up their kicking game and keep up with the effort. I can tell you that Gaz O'Brien has passed his head injury assessment. But time for the second half. Let's go back to your commentators, Dave Woods and Carlene Moore.
Thank you, Jenna. Well, it's good news on Gareth O'Brien, isn't it? That's the last thing Leigh needed. It's another setback, but they've got him back.
You always want
second half.
Yeah, you always want your key players out there on the field, whether you're fans of these two clubs or just fans of the game in general. You want to see your best stars out there, and Gareth O'Brien does an awful lot of quality for this Leigh outfit. But the scoreline plays there, the home side 14 points down, it's 20 points to 6, and it's all to do, Dave, for the Leopards.
It's an odd situation. There he is, back and okay, and back on the field. So a lot of people will be pleased to see that. This is yet another away game for Wigan this season. They've only had one home game in the Super League so far, a win against Huddersfield. This is round 7, but their 6th game of the year in the Betfred Super League. All the others have been away. Are they going to complete a win here, or is there a way back for Leigh in this second half? And if there is, Kyle, how do they plot it?
Well, obviously, I agree with what Jenna said, what Adrian Lamb echoed about the kicking game. They have to get much better than that, because when you're in Wigan's near their line, you're going to have to come up with special players to crack their defence, because they work so hard. You have to do that by being down that end of the field.
There's Dwyer. Looking to have a bit of an impact. Lamb muscling into dummy half. Davis carries on the progress. A yard or two inside Wigan territory. But one play to go. Inevitably reaching the end of the set. And so it's Lamb who's forced to put this high. Field underneath it. Miski's gone on his inside to help Wigan try to clear their lines, and that's where they start. First touch of the ball in the second half. Leeming bouncing around at dummy half there, wasn't he? That was Bevan French, and they were Pullage bouncing around at dummy half.
Hold Jack, Frankie.
Field, and now Farrell. Just into a wall of Leigh defenders. Leeming now taking over that acting half duty. Luke Thompson's had a look up, but it's gone past him to Ellis, and Ellis to Mego, and now Nsemba, and Nsemba impeded as he got that because tackles came flying his way, led by Lutelli. Smith will just welly it downfield. A lovely piece of footwork from Amila Hanley. He'll bring it back into the face of that Wigan chase.
Yeah, nice play there from the middle unit of the Warriors. Lovely soft ball from Mego with Nsemba hitting a hard line.
Charlie still chasing that top Super League scoring spot, of course. Josh Charlie not too far behind Ryan Hall, who in turn is not too far behind the current leader Danny Maguire.
You'd imagine one of those two will catch Danny Maguire. It's a matter of when.
Dwyer looking for support on the outside, hits the shoulder of Farrell and Mego. So this now is Davis. Matt Davis to Lamb and Moylan, and O'Brien twisting and turning, but unable to evade Kieran, who's there to make the tackle. One to go, last again. Moylan corkscrews that ball back towards the right wing. Field flies through the air, and he's grabbed as he comes down by Josh Charlie.
Yeah, Moylan just trying to catch Abbas Miski out. With that hook kick back towards him. Jay Field's there just to take it in, deny the threat. As Marshall looks to carry away and gets his side a good 10 metres.
Still a good atmosphere inside here, the Battle of the Borough. Yet another derby for Wigan the week after what they would say was their biggest derby, of course, against St Helens. There's a few local rivalries in the northwest, aren't there? This is Ellis. Leeming now. Wigan have gone through their set quickly. Smith now kicks it downfield again. That's a good kick towards that touchline, but O'Brien's there to catch it. And Charnley's here to bring it back. Thompson's leading the defensive line. Mago's there as well, and he and Leeming catch their man. And Leigh start for there. Bit of an arm wrestle in the second half, Kyle.
Yeah, just set for set at the moment, isn't it? Amila Hanley, he looks to try and carry the ball forward, but he's met by Wardle, Farrell and company there just to drive him back to where he originally caught the ball. There's a penalty being given away here. It's another yardage penalty. I think, you know, obviously we've mentioned there about the Wigan Warriors doing a lot of their games away from home. Of course, the World Club Challenge that they got in the bag as well, and a chance here to go top of the table tonight. But I think one area they can improve is the discipline when other teams are coming out their own end, Dave.
Yeah, they are now topping that penalty chart, aren't they? Having played after this the same number of games as everybody else in the league. So, like you say, that is something they will scrutinise. Matt Peat, who always gives honest answers to honest questions, said as much last week, didn't he, when he was talking to Jenna at the end of the game. That is something they've got to keep an eye on, discipline.
It's a good carry there from Nakubawai. Looking to move it left, Dave.
Lamb to Moylan. Moylan trying to spin off the shoulder of Bevan French, but French digs in, puts his man down. Dwyer collects again, brings it back towards the middle. This is Hughes. Inside for the carry of Nakubawai. They're getting closer here, Leigh. This is a good position, an encouraging position from their point of view. Lamb across, puts it back. O'Brien with a kick, rattles against feet, picked up by Harry Smith. He's got support, and off he goes. And I think this is going to be his first try off the season. Jay Field, 80-90 yards, will touchdown. And he is up and running for 2024. Jay Field's first try of the new campaign. And that is a kick in the teeth from Leigh's point of view.
Yeah, it took 6 games, really, for Jay Field to get his first try of the season. We perhaps haven't seen the best of him with ball in hand in 2024, but it comes off a poor kick from Gareth O'Brien. Harry Smith collects, and Jay Field, like all good fullbacks do, just knows exactly where to pop up, and as soon as he catches that ball, everybody at home, everybody in this crowd just know there's only one outcome, and it's another 4 points. The kick from O'Brien just wasn't where it needed to be, and Jay Field, he does the rest.
Well, I think everybody would have been holding their breath a little because we cast our minds back to 2021 on his debut. Remember that? Leigh against Wigan at Headingley, and he got a ball in a similar position, and everybody held their breath because we'd heard about his reputation, and he had the horrible pulled hamstring that left him out for 5 months after that. I'm sure that wasn't in the back of his mind here.
No, he's one of the fastest men in the competition, and you can just see there, just as he crosses the 20, he pulls off the gears, and he just canters in.
16 last year, 1 so far this.
I mean, we saw moments of brilliance defensively, haven't we, from Jay Field this year? Terrific tackle in the World Club Challenge, the one on Lewis Dodd last week as well, but ball in hand. Lit up the competition. Gets his first try. Is that the one that gets him up and running, Dave?
Well, they're hitting their average again. They're averaging 5 tries a game so far in Super League. They've got 5 here tonight. Smith has added another 2. They're going up in 6s again, and Wigan lead here by 26 points to 6.
No words needed, really. Just sit back and watch this unfold. It's done from there.
Wonderful to see athletes in full flight, isn't it? Whatever colours they're wearing, and he's one of those that certainly Wigan fans and a lot of neutrals enjoy seeing. Marshall with a catch. Thompson with a carry. Leigh needing to stiffen up here. Needing to find a resolve here. They need to stop Wigan in their tracks. Towards the end of the first half, they might have planted a few seeds of doubt, but it's Wigan who are cocksure again. And Semba.
The worrying part, Dave, is I actually think, looking at Wigan tonight, there's certainly another level or 2 within them, within this game, if they wanted it. kid, Ellis, just rolls forward. They're not really doing anything particularly flash, and they're just able to get over the advantage line and play the ball and dictate play on their terms. Thompson
in and out.
Move, Jack, make it here, Matt.
Leeming stands and waits again.
Hold, go.
Left to Smith. Smith gets the kick away. The charge down is by Dwyer, who came sprinting out that. And now it's him and Field who are in the chase. Dwyer kicks it on, but enough Wigan players have recovered that position. And it's reset of the tackle count. But from deep inside their half here, glimmer there. Here's Wardle.
Great charge down from Brad Dwyer. He's got about a 5-metre head start on Field. He can't regather.
Make it late. Go.
Nobody else with him there, was there, really? Lots of Wigan players back to recover their poise.
Move together, Lee.
And they're back again inside their opponent's half. 2 plays to go in this set. Leaning out. There's Field, just glides away from Davies's tackle, and then back on the inside, and Farrell's now travelling at speed and with purpose. Leigh back on their own line. They need one more big defensive effort here. Ellis, here's Mago. Mago pops it back behind everyone. Charlie drops on it but scoops it up. 0 tackle now as Leeming takes it in. He loses the ball and they'll go to the first knock-on. Still Wigan have it.
Patrick Mago's offload there, just flings it out the back. He does well to isolate Kai O'Donnell on that fade line. Josh Charnley can't take it in. What I do like about Charnley, he reacts well off that and forces Cruz Leeming into the mistake.
Slippery ball on a slippery night. Charnley putting the effort in, but it's Wigan who come up trumps because they keep possession from this scrum.
Just going back a couple of plays there, Jay Field, how he just stands up and evades the defender of Leigh. Wasn't quite sure who it was, but just skipped past him at ease before he threatened through the middle of the field. This is a worrying sign if you're a Leopards defender. Field sat 10 metres behind the ruck. Which way will he swing?
So Wigan with 6 to have another go. French with a step back on the inside and steps on the outside. Oh, it's so much fun for Bevan French with ball in hand at that range. But does he get the last lap here?
No tackle. Got to try. Just make sure he grounds the ball before he's then held up.
So let's hear from the video ref.
Okay, 0 tackle, got to try. Just look at the grounding, please. Just confirm if French does get the ball down here initially. So it was under the ball at that point, still under the ball. You can see the rotation of the ball still up. Looks to be still up at that point. Have we got any other angles on this, please? Just need to prove the ball doesn't touch the ground at any point. See if there's sufficient evidence. So you can see here, the arm, slow, that the arm is always under the ball. The ball can't be down, it's still up. Established on the previous angle, it's still up. Okay, so keep rolling. Keep rolling. So French is still fighting to get to the line at this point. He's still up. He's still up at there. Can we go to the first angle you showed me? I want to finish on that one, please. The first angle you showed me. Right, so you can see at this point there's a hand on Dwyer's hand is under the ball. Still on the ball. He's not, you can see there's a gap there between ball to ground. Always up, always up, always up. And we can see it rolls into the next shot where we've established the ball is always up. I do have sufficient evidence there to overturn a live call. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Well, he's a Wigan lad, is Brad Dwyer. He's never actually played for his hometown club, but he'll be very proud of that effort. That was an incredible defensive effort from the Leigh man to prevent what looked like a certain try for Bevan French.
Yeah, he's competed really hard, hasn't he? Brad Dwyer changed the pace of the game with his runs. We saw the charge down earlier. And his efforts there just deny Wigan another try.
Well, Ellis will bring it in. Leigh are still under a lot of pressure, but what we do know is that there's plenty of heart in this Leigh performance from that defensive effort a moment ago. Can they put together another 3 blocking efforts now? It's with Field. And now Mago, not going very far. Sticky patch of defenders ahead of him. Holds his ground, holds his feet, plays the ball back out from Leeming. Leeming to Ellis. Ellis throws a dummy. He fancies getting in amongst the glory. The offload there, Leeming underneath it. Smith over the top, and it's walking day for Kieran at the corner. Adam Kieran gets there eventually. Bevan French was denied. Oh, hang on, hang on. We got another question. Another soft signal.
Check round in touchline, please.
Another soft signal try. Video ref, let's hear now.
OK, it's tackle 4, live decisions a try. Tackle 4, live decisions a try on field. So we're just looking at the grounding here. So Kieran is in possession, nice and slow, still in possession, still in possession. And the ball is grounded. I made my decision.
Well, no doubts about that. No doubts about that. Adam Kieran, the latest try scorer. Deny them at one side, they'll score on the other.
Dave, there's just so much to like about that try. The whole setup of it. Denied moments earlier. Bevan French with his footwork through the middle of the field. It's Cade Ellis after a hard carry from Patrick Mago. Both front rowers being refused to put down. Cruz Leeming stays alive, and Harry Smith comes up with a spectacular pass over the top of all the left edge. And Adam Kieran just slides over. There's two of them waiting. Take your pick.
Those Wigan fans certain when they saw that picture that they were going to have reason to celebrate. Adam Kieran crossing over.
Just from a Leigh perspective, the carry from Mago before Cade Ellis standing up in tackles, you can't really have that. Adrian Lamb will be addressing that. You have to be put to floor given the fact that there's only a couple of metres away from your own line, and the net result is that Cade Ellis, after a quick play of the ball from Mago, is able to fight his way, provide an offload, and the vision from Harry Smith to float the ball over the top gives Harry Smith an opportunity to kick his 4th goal tonight over on that far side of the field.
Smith just skewing that off the tee, was picking a tee up before the ball had reached the post because he knew it was well wide.
Just in case. If you don't sharpen this one, the rest of the kick
sharp here, aren't they?
Just everybody expecting it. You're queuing up for it.
Stay.
Well, Leigh have only had 1 win in 5 so far this season, but they haven't been blown away in a game, have they, really? They've competed, they've been close in a lot of games in which they play.
I think they've just come up against a different beast tonight, though, Dave. And looking ahead, OKR away in the Challenge Cup, then Warrington away before a home tie against Catalan Dragons. You know, you're looking at one out, potentially out of the Challenge Cup, and 1 win in 8 in there.
Well, that's a big one, won't it? I mean, Hull KR will have very bitter memories of what happened at Wembley last year. They'll be looking for retribution next week, won't they, in the rematch? Cut rematch there. So,
well, they're coming up against a wounded leopard rather than one that was hungrier than ever last year, Dave.
Here's Ellis and Smith and Wigan are going through these very slick motions again because they fancy more here. But Wardle eventually subdued.
Away from the ball.
Field. Smith's called for it. Smith gets it. Ellis. Surge.
5. Move now, Jack. Stay with me. Go 5.
Leeming. Back to Smith. Gets the kick away before he's reached there by Holton. And O'Brien's underneath it and has patched that very well. But look at the response. It's 2 of the wingers getting involved there to force the man back. A bit of footwork getting them out of a bit of trouble there, and Myler Hanley.
Myler Hanley does well after that terrific chase from Marshall, and Amos Miskid, the far side winger, coming in to help. Sharing the workload out. The middle forwards of Wigan now just driving Charnley back.
Well, it's the south stand of Leigh Sports Village that's making all the noise at the moment, where the Wigan fans are sitting and enjoying what they're watching. They've seen their side score some good tries, but they're working hard in defence here as well. And Leigh are going to be forced to kick from deep inside their own half. Moylan.
Only 15 metres gained on that set, Dave. Jay Field picks up the ball. He's tackled well, and he needed to be because the chase through the middle of the field was lethargic.
Here's Miskey. He's carting it in. Leeming into that dummy half position again. Kieran, try scorer on the night. And Leeming stands and waits once more. There's a little skip around and a look around. Not a lot happening there, was there? So takes the tackle. Chucky Chan on the field. This time I think we've seen him tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have Chucky Chan.
Third appearance of the season for Chan.
Smith. And it goes to Field. There were several options on there, and Field's not a bad one. And it's a touch from Moylan. It's play on, and it will be a knock-on against Leigh. Knock-on against Leigh.
And it's more sustained pressure for Leigh as well. The line from Liam Farrell opens up for Jay Field. He tries to get the ball back on inside to Wardle. There was 3 Wigan shirts again, just queuing up. Liam Marshall's telling him to throw the ball back inside. It's the hand of Moylan, and O'Brien can't quite scoop it up. Just look at the number of blue shirts in that picture, Dave.
Might be a few more points here tonight.
I believe so.
Not long to go. There's still 24 minutes left here. You wouldn't think they were having fun, would you? But they are. Leaning out of the back of the scrum, playing it on to Smith. We saw them put on a running play with Smith last week as well, didn't we? With scrum play against St Helens. Chan drives it in. Leeming has a look around, looks to that right-hand side, out to Smith. Smith and Nsemba rocking and rolling his way through. Second try of his Wigan career. He scored a real eye-catcher against Leeds last year at Headingley. And tonight he's over again. And everybody's getting a hand, everybody's getting a touch from Wigan's point of view here. And they are cruising to a win at Leigh Sports Village.
It's all in the Warriors' momentum at the moment, and has been for most of the game. Harry Smith there, Junior Nsemba gets on the outside of Lamb, just gets caught ball watching Harry Smith, and Nsemba, the young 19-year-old, scores his first try in Super League. And the Warriors have got some good kids, Dave, haven't they?
Well, we were talking about this. I mean, we were talking about, you know, Leigh are missing Mulhern, Asiata, Holmes, Apapi, Amon, Briscoe. Wigan are missing Havard, Byrne, Dupree, Cooper, Walters, who's not played yet this season. But it's what Wigan can bring in that makes them the side that they are.
And there lies my point, what I was trying to make earlier when Brian Carney asked Asiata about grand final winning sides. Wigan are just able to have players injured and suspended and just bring the next wave in. You look down that list: Junior Nsemba, Tiaki Chan, Harvey Hill, and a youthful backline in there as well. Jake Wardle signed up on a long-term deal.
So Harry Smith is 3 out of 6 so far tonight, 50% kicking record. Would like to improve on that. Just to take Wigan to a 36 points to 6 lead. Here he comes. And there it goes, and up go the flags to confirm. So 6 for Leigh, 36 for Wigan, and I think with 20 minutes to go to full time, it's by how many and by how entertaining can Wigan do this from here on in, or do Leigh dig deep and find something from what remains of this game?
Well, I think that's the only way they're going to have to. Because that space was just far too big. It was all just too easy for the away side. But they are doing it tough, there's no doubt about it. Leigh, they go for a short kick-off here.
Well, there's a signal of intent, and they've got it back, and that is a reward for just saying, right, let's give them a bloody nose here. Let's try and strike back into this game. Norman carries it forward.
But I think for Adrian Lamb, Dave, you learn an awful lot about your playing group, about your squad. Davis looks to roll the ball.
Dangerous Davis, but Wigan drag him down, and Norman now will straighten it forward again. Dan Norman, the ex-Saint, who's within 10. Dwyer skipping it back to Moylan, and O'Brien's chiming in from full-back. Hanley. A couple of plays in this set still to go. Moylan. And back now to Lamb, and they're creating a bit of space. Lutelli's great pass, and Charlie for the corner. Josh Charlie, he'll look back against his former club. And again, it just shows a spirit that's still embossed on this Leigh side. They ain't going to go down without a fight here.
Charlie continues to chase down Ryan Hall. He scored 164 times, Dave, during his time at Wigan. This one will be special for him. It's just Lamb out the back. Latelli with soft hand. Abismiski comes to jam the plate. And even though they get hard up, they get 15 metres off their own line. And they know that that buys them a little bit of land. But the speed and the soft hands from Latelli and the finishing prowess of Josh Charlie is just too good for the right edge.
Well, he'll have enjoyed that moment, won't he? Long and illustrious career, hasn't he? 3 times Grand Final winner, 4 times Challenge Cup winner. Super League try scorer back in 2012, Josh Charlie. So there's a durability to him as well, isn't there?
Of course, a couple of seasons over at Rugby Union as well, which makes his try-scoring record even more remarkable.
The kick is looking good. Yes, it is. There's life in the leopard yet. 12 points to Wigan's 36.
Wonderful ball movement there. Moylan, Dwyer, Lachlan Lamb, but it's the silky skills from the centre that unpick the defence. I mentioned you have to come up with something special to crack Wigan's defence, and it was just wonderful ball movement with the pass.
Joining Jack signal there, offered up by Josh Charlie as well. Let's go down to Jeddah for some news. Jeddah.
I can tell you that tonight at the Leigh Sports Village, it is a sellout. 10,308 supporters, despite Leigh's position in the table, the fact that they have only won so far 1 game of their 5 opening. The fans are still right behind them.
Yeah, they do a lot right here, don't they? They have a pre-match. The band playing the 90s classics.
Oh, credit where credit's due. Derek Beaumont, he knows how to put a show on, and he's built a squad this time that's capable of handling the peaks and troughs of Super League. There's far too much quality in Leigh's side this year to finish bottom.
Go, Junior! Last tackle away! He just rolled him.
Dwyer spinning it back on the last, so Lamb gets the kick away. It looks as a little troubled with his shoulder there as contact was made after he kicked downfield, but he's carrying on. Miski brings it back. Smith's in at dummy half. Wigan reloading and looking to fire again at this Leigh defence.
Out Frankie! Square Owen!
Smith. Wardle. Travelling into the shoulders of those 2 that waited.
Out now, Dan!
O'Neill. Mago. Heavy-duty stuff again down the middle, attracting 4 defenders in all to deal with that situation.
But again, allowed to stand in the tackle. He gets a quick play of the ball, leaves a man on the floor. Harry Smith looks to explore this left edge through Farrell.
Farrell twisted round, put down. Wigan looking threatening on this left-hand side. Smith. Ooh. Juggle, up it goes. French is quickly after that. O'Brien's there. French very nearly snatched it back, and that was a good take under the circumstances from the Leigh fullback.
Yeah, I thought Evan French had picked his pocket there. Great composure from Gareth O'Brien. Looks like they might win a penalty here. Get away with that one. Myler Hanley looked to be caught high.
It's Holton.
Release!
Moylan.
Leave him, Junior.
Quick stuff here. Lutelli.
For Bevan Square!
So O'Brien moves into dummy half now. Back towards the middle and Charlie. Charlie with a drive forward.
5 out, Junior!
Quickly played, quickly played. Gives an option for O'Brien to have a little bit of discovery. Oh! Well, brilliant, up to the point where it became awful. And Wigan have it back again.
Done everything right there. Dwyer just tries a chip over the top, knows the scoreboard and the clock's against him. Just gets it wrong at the end.
Here's O'Neill. Here's Hill.
Oh, doesn't he do well there?
Spinning around.
Just rides 4 shoulders, spins out of it.
O'Neill back on the inside to Smith. Smith puts it back to Field. And now Wardle, and Wardle has got a step that takes him inside 2 and offers one on a plate to Liam Marshall to score. Wonderful centre play, devastating centre play, and Marshall there to finish. He overtakes his teammate Bevan French. He's now got 9 tries this season, Liam Marshall. And Wigan are coasting again.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Devastating centre play from Jake Wardle, and you can see why Wigan have locked him in on a long-term deal. There's not an awful lot on here. He just gets on the outside of Matt Moylan. Myler Hanley can't do anything, and Gareth O'Brien's just left to do it with a one-on-one. Liam Marshall arriving on the left-hand side of Wardle, coasts in for his 7th Super League try of the season and equals that record with Ash Hanley at the moment, locked at the top of the board there.
Well, Liam Marshall is in devastating form this early season, isn't he? A couple of games he didn't score in the Penrith game and the Cup game. Sorry, the game at London, because I think he was rested for that one, wasn't he? But otherwise, he's been pretty prolific. And those Leigh players again are left to question, how do they respond to this situation now? They cannot afford to be blown out of the water in the 40 minutes that remain, can they? Success probability of 27% there. Remember, that's artificial intelligence pumped into the computer. His kicking record, the gameplay, conditions he's kicking in, the side of the field he kicks from. Artificial intelligence is not giving him much chance of putting this one over. Harry Smith. Let's see if he can prove it wrong. Look of concentration, and nope. Turns out the tech was correct. He's put it wide, and it remains at 40 points to 12.
Well, the 1 to 5 of the Warriors have all got on the score sheet tonight, Dave. And it's the man who creates it who's left. Not with a try to his name, Jake Wardle. Doesn't he do well? The Wigan fans are happy tonight.
Well, we talked about the absentees for Wigan. Liam Byrne obviously suspended, as is Tyler Dupree. Mike Cooper's fairly long term, but Ethan Havard, who did that injury, got that injury in the grand final last year, didn't he? And Sam Walters has not played yet this season. Got a collar injury in a pre-season game, so I think Wigan fans will be anxious to know how long it is before those two are back. I think, Jenna, you've got some news.
Words right out of my mouth. I can update you on that. Sam Walters, I just spoke to him. He's looking to be back in the next 3 weeks. And as far as Ethan Havard goes, of course, in that grand final, he suffered that hamstring injury. Maybe come back to me, Dave Woods.
Yeah, because Leah looking threatening here. Lamb stands and waits. Here's Davis. Davis with a juggle. Tries to scrap it in himself. And Dwyer now on the last. Dummies right, goes left, fancies it himself here. Dwyer somehow gets the ball smuggled back, but there's a knock-on. And Wigan celebrate that, I think, as much as they celebrated any try so far, those players on the field.
Yeah, it's a sign of a champion side. The one who celebrates defensive efforts like this. It's Hill and Brad O'Neill just all over Brad Dwyer. They value and respect their try line so well. The players like that mean an awful lot to them. But going back to your point as well, Dave, about those players coming in, when Wigan have got all their squad fit, well, that's a selection headache for sure.
Well, Jenna left us on a cliffhanger as far as Ethan Havard's concerned. Jenna?
Wasn't it a cliffhanger? Yeah, just spoke to him. He'll be back in 2 weeks' time at home against Castleford Tigers.
That's the league game, of course. They play the Tigers next week in the Cup, but he's back for the league, he's hoping. Here's Marshall.
4 straight out, Leigh!
Anxious to get back on the field, no doubt.
5. Move now!
Heavy carry by Hill.
Go, Owen Trout!
Last play. Back to Smith. Smith puts it high ahead of the advancing Hardacre. O'Brien's underneath it. Safely gathered in. Looking to launch an attack if he can, but Brad O'Neill had other thoughts.
Wigan, stay here, stay
Just stops him dead in his tracks.
Well, I think he enjoyed that, didn't he, O'Neill?
Averaging over 40 tackles a game this season. That's a belter.
Oh dear, Leigh have lost it.
0 tackle. Back is 10. Go 0.
Smith to Farrell.
Away from the ball, Dan.
Wardle. Chan.
Move Owen. Brad, stay with me, mate.
O'Neill again.
Ball. Go 2. Tiaki.
Looking inside for Smith.
2.
Smith back, it goes to French. French now, trying to hold off the defender. Dancing away, spinning and turning. Trying to mesmerise that Leigh defence, but they don't fall for the tricks. They make the tackle a good one. Isa now. Here's Junior and Semba. He's a big fella. Big fella who takes some stopping. O'Neill. Here's another big fella. Harvey Hill skips it back to Smith. Now Farrell. Farrell back. And Field with a miss-out pass. Marshall tries to cut back on the inside, but Hardacre's got the balance, got the wherewithal.
Move 5. Liam.
And here's the last. Wardle. Smith. Is this going high? Yes, it is. High-ish anyway. Chases on, but it's gone backwards, and Leigh through Lutelli will come up with the ball.
Yeah, but crucially, it's 5 metres away from their own try line. It's Lachlan Lamb who tries to get them out of trouble, but you got Hill and Chan all over him, taking metres back off him.
There's Charlie. Wigan keeping up the pressure, the Leigh end of the field, and too much messing about in the end.
It's another yardage penalty. Fight from Charlie. He's so strong on the floor, having played against him. Wins an awful lot of penalties, does Josh Charlie.
First move, Willie.
No further progress from there, so Dwyer collects.
Make the 10, Bevan.
Inside for Lamb. Across that line.
2. Out now, Harvey. Square.
Dwyer again. O'Brien. Here comes Frankie Holton.
Up and square, Harry. Take it, Jackie. 3. Go.
Dwyer. Hardacre ran down this right-hand side, but Moylan's back in the middle now, trying to make things happen, but that's a poor pass. O'Brien, nowhere to go, really. They were waiting for him.
It just quite hasn't got going, has it, for Matt Moylan this season so far? Of course, once the injuries return, and particularly Asiata, Amon, Mulhern and Epape.
Dwyer out to Lamb. Lamb now on this last play. Dummies a kick, then gets a pass away. They try to crash through. If that had stuck. If that had stuck, but it was clearly no knocked on.
Go on, Jay.
Just as I said there, and Chamberlain fresh onto the field, looks to offload and release Moylan.
Straight away, Leigh having to defend again here because Wigan moving with intent back to where they want to be as Farrell rolls in and goes down. They're just announcing the sellout crowd here as well. So we get a bit of an applause from all those who are here tonight. Yeah, it's a sign of the evolution of certainly this Leigh club, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sellout crowds were unthinkable 2-3 years ago.
Kudos to all of those involved. But it's what's out on the field that's hurting them so far.
Here's Wardle. He tries to get himself through that line again. O'Neill off and scampering. And a poor grasp of an attempted tackle from Ed Chamberlain. One play to go again. So Smith bends his back and goes right to French, and French inside for Miski, and Miski on the angle offloads to Isa, and Isa throws it wildly back on the inside, but Smith is there to pick it up. The little grubber kick through, and a chase by Wardle, but it's dropped on. Dropped on by O'Brien. Well, look where they start. Look where they start. There's no easing up at all, is there, for Leigh here? Wigan are still playing at that consistent high effort, aren't they?
Yeah, it's what the club demand, the coaching staff. It's what all the top sides do, Dave. They very rarely have a week off in terms of intensity and execution. But Dwyer's looked lively tonight. He gets a collar around the shirt. Chan's not square. And that's why the penalty's given away.
You're both up side by side.
But he has been threatening as Dwyer tonight.
Let's go, Lachlan. Markers.
So Lamb will put it out of play. Leigh have a chance of a set inside their opponent's half. Morintelli, the touch judge down there. His dad was a bit of a legend here. His older brother was a bit of a legend here, wasn't he? Norman as a coach.
First, Square Junior! Stay Brad!
O'Brien. Oh, it's a juggle. It's just about kept a hold of, and somehow Leigh do retain possession here. And the offload comes. I'm not sure it was entirely meant, but they'll take it. Moylan skipping back towards the middle again. Wigan's defence is ready. And the ball is lost. And a look of a cry of utter frustration from Lachlan Lamb in the background there.
Chamberlain there, perhaps a little pull. It's Harvey Hill. Just keep your eye on his right arm. Just pulls it there. Jack Smith deemed that to be an error.
Well, resigned to a defeat tonight here, Adrian Lamb, but knowing that hopefully this injury list begins to heal itself in the coming weeks. There's some talent on the sidelines tonight. My goodness.
Look, there's no doubt that they're going to come good again when you see those players in the picture who aren't out there on the field. But it's just if it's going to be too much of a hill to climb for that playoffs. You know, we mentioned the fixtures they've got coming up.
This is Field exploring the opportunities. Marshall. And now Harvey Hill again. Wigan content to keep the foot on their opponent's throats right to the very end. They already know they've won the game, but they want more from here. Farrell. One to go. O'Neill. Here's Field. Who's he going to pass to? Long ball out to Isa. Patted off to French. French with a little chip. And again he's going. That boot almost opening the door again. And Leigh scrambling. In the end, it's dropped on by Dwyer. Oh. Lachlan Lamb just concerned there because Boots suddenly came flying his way. Harry Smith.
Hey, you've gone back to him, you're then holding him in, just play your ball, tackle two, Harry, stay in.
Wasn't expecting this, Lachlan Lamb. Oh, there we go.
Judo move.
Hanley stopped in his tracks. Taken out at only half again. Natelli carries it on. Wigan's defenders anxious not to give up any yardage here. Dwyer. McNamara back on the field. Lamb and now Moylan. And here's Hardacre. And Hardacre cuts inside. Quickly played, Moylan's up to it, and McNamara to Lamb. Lamb runs away from the advancing French, tries to get a pass away, still has it. It is good from Lamb, and then a little kick as he was taking a stumble. The chase again is still on, but Wigan have it back 5 from their own line.
An important ankle tap as well from French. It was caught in no man's land, out on the right edge of the field. Lamb slices through. Just as he puts the kick in, Bevan French makes a last-ditch effort just there.
So the last minute of the game, last set of a game that Wigan had won an awful long time ago. You could trace the roots of this back victory to the first half, really, couldn't you? Abbas Miski after 8, Willie Iser after 16, Bevan French after 25, and at that stage, writing very much on the wall. And the reigning Super League champions getting back to winning ways after defeat at St Helens last week, and looking to go out with a bit of flash and flair here. Off the thigh of Farrell, but collected by Moylan. Moylan missed by Field and Nsemba and by Kieran, but then he passes to Abbas Miski, and Miski being chased down by Charnley. Charnley's not going to give up. Miski is put down in the end. Not quite the crowning finish from Wigan's point of view. A rueful smile from the coach. But there'll be happiness within up on that bench, because Wigan winners tonight, and very deserved winners as well.
Yeah, professional performance really from the champions, doing exactly what they needed to do in this game. Just execute Matty Pete's game plan. I just loved the way in the second half that they just continually kept turning on asking Leigh to come away from their own line. Leigh Leopards, of course, you know, plenty of improvement in them as Adrian Lamb looks on, knowing that he'll get troops back. The Warriors have managed to do what they do, and they just go marching on.
Well, a full house in here to watch this battle of the borough. The two Cup Kings from last year, all the silverware in one place. But it's Wigan who come up with the spoils tonight. Leigh 12, Wigan 40.